Hey guys, it's another episode, if you will, installment for Black Projects 51. And this is going to be about the 124th scale or studio scale uh, X Wing that I'm modifying into a two seater. And I call it my Black Ops uh, X Wing. It's, let me just show you what I'm thinking and what I've committed to now since I had to butcher up one of the wing segments in regards to the engines. Remember those big, clear uh, things I told you I got at the dollar store? Had the yellow thread on cap, and it looked like an engine to me. And I bought four of them. I thought originally uh, in the video I made previously that it had some little toys in it, but it had little screwdrivers and stuff like that in it. I think it was for eyeglass repair kit. But anyways, these are the parts in question, and it's going to need another primer coat because I didn't quite uh, get full coverage because this is a clear piece. But this is what it looks like, and the only way I knew if it was going to work was I had to cut it apart. Anyways, yeah, so this is basically what I had to do. This side did look like this side, but in order for me to see whether or not those options for the engines would work, I had to hack it up. I tried to do it in a precise manner, so if I had to put it back together, I could. But basically, it's going to sit on there like that. And, well, let me get it sitting on here again. So it will look like that basically. And of course, that's without any additional details added to it. You know, it's not going to look at all like that when I'm done, but they will be lighted, so I will have to um, get that done. Uh, but I've got to hack up all the rest of these now. What my only concern is will it close properly? I think it will because the way these engines are mounted, they're offset a bit, the part that I had to cut off. So that that gave me some room. So yeah, it's it was kind of scary, to be honest with you. Uh, yeah, you know what's really odd about this whole configuration is they've got the landing gear wells right inside the engine bay. That wouldn't ever work out. But hey, not trying to rain on the Star Wars parade, but the guys didn't think that one out very well. I may modify it to accommodate the landing gear, but in a more realistic fashion. Not sure yet if I even want to do that. But, anyways, here's what we got. I did a bunch of work on the fuselage today, and I also primed it. Now, there's a ton of work, finish work that's got to go into this, but putting a coat of primer on it uh, definitely made a huge difference. It's kind of motivating, actually. Because I got all these parts here. I got to add some panels, what we call scab panels, which is what that is there, part of the original design attributes. There's panel lines I'm going to have to scribe into all the areas I added onto. Like I said, this is nowhere in the finishing stages. I needed the primer on there to see how bad my blemishes were and where to add putty. But yeah, so it looks prettier in primer. The nose cone, oddly enough, is made out of rubber, which won't really matter because it won't. But yeah, and then one of them, when I was trying to test fit it, this one, it started cracking. So I had to stop drill the cracks. What stop drilling is, it's an aviation term for A&P mechanics, which I am one. Not anymore, but I used to be. Anyways, to prevent the crack from migrating further, you stop drill it at the end of each crack. It's a stopgap repair in aviation. It's only done really in emergencies or on non-critical structures. So, anyways, um, that's basically what I've done here. Where I cut that off, I'm going to have to do that 4 times. Now, it's a bit precarious because there are some critical structure elements in here. If you go too crazy, you might compromise them, then you'll have to glue it all back and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I've got to do some cleanup. I'm going to wait and do it tomorrow, where I'm going to sand and putty um, a lot of this and any other imperfections. The battery compartment is closed up. You can see it right here. That's where the screw went, but it's all glued in now. And I filled that with super glue, and that part, that's got to go get sanded down and puttied as well. And, you know, the outline of the battery box, I'm not going to concern myself with that. This ship isn't Canon to begin with, so it's we can pretend it's a avionics bay or a weapons bay that drops down and they load torpedoes in. Which, speaking of torpedoes, the torpedo launch tubes constitute this shallow feature right there, which I'm going to have to drill that out and open, which that plastic right there is really thick. Or I can fill it in and uh, maybe put my own design feature torpedo tubes, launchers on here in a similar fashion, but I don't know. We'll see. Um, this thing's going to have a lot of additional things on the outside, like ECM pods that will be flush mount to the fuselage. They're not going to be like hanging off the wings old school. These are going to be form fitting. And um, this spot back here, that I may make that into a low level gun turret that has guns facing forward and aft to where they can shoot to the rear if they've got it selected, or to the front, or both at the same time. So that's what that is. Sounds like my wife's home. I should go see. Yeah, and primered these as well. Um, it's got a hole there, and I'm thinking of doing something like, I don't know, pop the dome just barely of an LED, like a green one maybe, or maybe a blue, probably a blue. Pop it just for a cool extra little effect. And this is, well, this is the canopy hinge point, which when it's all said and done is going to sit on there like that. And what I'll do is I'll put the canopy on the front, the main canopy on, its normal position. And then tape it down on there, and then use it as a reference point for elevation, length, and angularity to build the remainder of the canopy frame, especially for the aft occupant. What I could do is make it all one big canopy and have it hinge back, which would probably be the smarter idea, like a F-16 B or D model where they have that big long canopy. I may go that route. So, anyways, my wife is home now, so I'm going to go check on her and say hi to her, and I'll be back here in a little bit. Yeah, hey, I'm back, guys. I forgot where I left off. Yeah. Anyways, so I'm sure I showed you the fuselage, and I probably showed you this. I think it goes like that, actually. Um, that's going to have some modification. I was thinking about all those holes that were there for the speaker. They are uniform. So I was thinking maybe having it backlit with a blue LED and kind of give it a more exotic look. And I'll paint this up really cool in different colors than what the Canon ones are, because I want it to truly look different, and it's going to look different. I'm going to put strakes on the leading edge of the wings. And what that'll look like is, right next to the fuselage and going out about, well, let me use this as an example. Let's pretend the wings are on here. They would be back here somewhere. The leading edge of the wing would go out this way. Well, attached to that, top and bottom, I might make a extension and then have it angle into the fuselage, but not have it connected to the wings though. They would stay stationary. They'd be connected to the fuselage, so the wings could still do free movement. But it just gives it more lift capability in thinner atmospheres. So um, it's not just all powering through the atmosphere, regardless of its uh, makeup. But yeah, so basically, I've got to do this, and I know I already showed you this to the other three. I'm not going to tackle it tonight because it's late, and I'm going to go in and sit with my wife. But yeah, so there's some puttying to do. Um, and then some panel line scribing, and it's got to make sense. It's got to be consistent with what's on the kit already. Um, there's going to be where I joined the fuselage and extended it, the front and aft section here. There's going to be all kinds of puttying and panel scribing going on there. And I just so you know, I used a 2K primer. It's one of the higher ends. I can't recall the um, exact nomenclature and stuff, but uh, it's a better one. Well, this one's the automotive primer. Yeah, 2X. 2K is also a designation, but that's usually for um, factory grade paint products that will go on even if it comes out of the rattle can. Uh, will um, Sorry guys, I see things and then my mind starts whirring. I I'm just wondering about my profiles from left to right here. I don't think they're correct, but wherever the original canopy stops and then continues back here, I will have to make sure that it's fits snug as a bug in a rug, as they say. And so that's basically where I'm at tonight on this project. Uh, I know a lot of you guys liked this particular project because I know there's a huge amount of Star Wars fans out there. So I'm going to call this video done, and uh, somebody's going in and out of the house to the garage quite a bit. But anyways, I yeah, I'm just going to right now just kind of put all the parts that I have sitting here. Well, not all of them, but what I do have, and let you guys have a primer coating beauty shot. So, like I said, this is just sitting on it, and that's with the. If you guys have thoughts about anything I've said here, and you want to wave the BS flag, or hey Dave, don't do that, then you know well, if I've already committed to it, like the engine thing, too late. Sorry, but it'll look cool, guys. I want it to look like an X-wing on steroids. I want it to look so badass that the what's the enemy? The Empire will pee themselves if they see it coming at them. So yeah, so it's coming along. I feel good about the progress I made today. Um, I made a similar amount of progress on the Nebula class the other night. Um, I don't know if I posted anything on that because I think I may just cover it in another video when I spend time working on it. But yeah, all this stuff has got to be modified. So that's what's going to happen. So the nose cone here, yay. So I got to go put all this stuff in a safe place and go chill with the wife. So, anyways, I hope you found this interesting, guys. Even the things I did today were pretty labor intensive, even though I didn't get to finish out my process. Um, all of this stuff is going to get primed again. That's why I'm so glad that panel lines are so heavy on this, is because it's going to have a lot of paint on it. And I just don't want to, when you have thick panel lines that, I mean, they're not so thick because of the scale, but you really got to be careful. If you got real shallow panel lines, then you want to airbrush your thinnest coats of primer and paint onto the model, or several light coats out of a rattle can. And I mean light coats, because rattle cans, you can't control or regulate it. It's a blast. And you got to keep that blast moving to get a nice finish. But yeah, so you know, it's it's looking better. I'm uh, I'm pleased with the progress, and I think when it's all said and done, it's going to be a very cool kit. And I really think the smartest way for me to go on the canopy is to make it one piece. So I'm going to have to blend the original canopy, the front one, with the back one. And I'm going to have to temporarily mount the original transparency, the canopy. And then, once I get this, I don't want to glue this down yet because, well, number one, because I had to clean this thing up. I had to remove a lot of the crap that was inside uh, there, and I'm still not done because I do just want to sand it as smooth inside as possible and give it a nice coat of um, I don't know, black, I suppose. And then I want to cut some tinted transparencies. And I'm thinking about, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the F-16s and some of the F-22s that have the canopies that look like they're gold. It's because there's actual real gold dust inside the matrix of those canopy transparency. I saw the process done at General Dynamics many years ago. It reduces nuke flash if they have to fly into a theater of war and drop a nuke. They have an eye patch they wear going in, and then the canopy has that gold dust in it, and it reduces the amount of harmful radiation getting to the pilot, at least into his visual cortex, because, um, well, he's got to get home safe. And the reason they wear an eye patch when they go in and drop a nuke is so they have one good eye to fly back. And the eye patches are lined with lead. So, and they're pretty substantial eye patches. They they fit very tightly, and when you pull it down, you make sure it's absolutely snug. And they would also have their tinted visor down as well. Um, if they were going into, because a lot of the special helmets that they wear for those type of missions are different from their conventional helmets. So, anyways, that's all I got for right now, guys. Like I said, I feel pretty good about the progress I made today. Um, it's moving forward well, And I just got to stay on it. Whichever of these projects rolls the fastest or I get most interested in, I'm just going to stay with it. Because, like I said, the whole reason for me um, having so many unfinished kits was because, well, other circumstances in my life. Um, I told you about the house fire where I lost everything, kind of took the wind out of my sails. But also, um, I just want to have some nice things that I built on my shelf. It's kind of sad and pathetic. As long as I've been doing this, of course, a lot of what I had got destroyed. So, I'm starting all over again, basically. But yeah, um, I've been having a lot of fun. And the funnest part is the thought process and then making it come to life. I There's a lot of cleanup to do on this, and I am going to have to put my best foot forward, best effort, because um, as I learned, and this project is perfect for that because I got to use some of my skill sets that I haven't used in a very long time. So, anyways, guys, that's it for now. Um, Stay tuned. We're gonna have more coming at you. So, well, I am. There is no we. This is a solo thing that I'm doing. But anyways, I hope you found it interesting. Peace.